Hello, good morning everyone. So we'll start at 10:05, giving 5 more minutes for people to join in. Hello everyone, good morning. I hope all of you can see me and give me a thumbs up if you can also see the presentation as well. Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Yes. Yes. Good morning. How are you all doing? I hope you are doing fine. I can see, I think not a lot of people have joined today, but nevertheless, we'll start now. Okay. Okay. So this is our fourth class, right? I think a lot of people are still asking a bit about how to give the assignments. Okay. So not to worry, I will send all the materials in the group today or tomorrow, not the recordings but the materials in terms of PPT. I will send. I will, and the assignments will be there. Okay, and after you're done with the course, you have to send my part of the assignments, that is the assignment for the four classes, to a Gmail account. I will give you the mail ID. It is not to be sent in my WhatsApp number, but to the Gmail account. The mail ID I will be providing all you all with. So that's the thing. Okay. If you have any questions regarding the last three classes assignments, you can definitely ask me. You can text me about that. There is no problem. So yeah. So let's begin the class today. Okay. So today we'll talk a bit about mind-body connection, but in a different way. We'll not term it as mind-body connection. We'll see different perspective of that. Okay, through the lenses of mindfulness, of course. Okay. So table of contents today for today is how we live from the neck up. We'll talk about that, okay? And then we'll have a practice of body scan, because we are talking about our body and how we can be more connected to our body as well, right? And then of course a small reflection about how the whole thing went for all of you, and how did the body scan went for all of you, right? But first we'll start. Yes. So we will start from two discussions, right? First of all, I think I want to ask you this. Let's do this. Let's do this first. This is a question. Okay. I hope every one of you can read this. I will read it out as well, and I want all of you to participate and tell me. I'll give you 2 3 minutes if you need time to think about it. Sometimes what we rationally know is not aligned with how we instinctively feel. Provide an example from your own life where you prioritized your rational mind at the expense of your intuition. How did the situation turn out, and what might have been different if you had trusted your gut? So I want all of you to brainstorm a bit, think about a bit. I'll give you 2 3 minutes. Think about a bit a situation where you gave more preference to your rational mind. Okay, um, and you can give this question to read. Think about it. I'll give you 2 3 minutes, and then we'll talk about it. Hey, so I think if you're ready, we can start discussing about it. Would anyone like to go first? Anyone who would like to join and tell me any example that they can relate to or think about. There are no rights and wrongs here, so don't be afraid. Just it's just up for a discussion. Yes, yes, Ashwin, please.
Ma'am, related to people and friendships, how they are gonna turn up or how they are gonna end, but I still, leave behind my intuition and still be like, maybe it might be a different thing. I'm overthinking and stuff, but it happens the way I thought or imagined it, expected it to happen.
Do you think that that is your gut feeling when you are with a certain person or when you're with a certain group of people, right? And you remove it, you put it aside and try to be mindful and you listen to your.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes, that is like I ignore the messages or the uh, signals I'm getting, as I'm still like in it, they are my friends, it's okay and stuff. I go on with the friendship or that time.
Yeah, yeah. So even if your mind and body is not feeling good about something, you reason it out, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes, right. Thank you for sharing. I would like other people to, maybe come up with examples from their life. There is no right and wrong. Please, I would like some people, active participation. Want to make the session interactive. Anyone else who would like to talk about? Hey, please go ahead. Let's talk about it. Any example from your life that you would like to say? You can type it out in the chat box as well. I can read. If no one wants to talk about it,
So I have something to share.
please. Yes, yes, please.
I don't know if it connects or not, but there have been times where I felt that something might go wrong, or rather go in a different way. Uh,
Mm,
in a way that could have been better. Though I know about it, like sometimes I do tell my parents as well, like please don't go here or please don't do this. Something I don't know what. So
mm,
that I have that intense gut feeling, and if they don't do it, like there have been time once when I told my dad, "Daddy, please don't go out," or at not at that moment, maybe some other
mm,
day. And
mm,
actually, we have come to know that there have been tragic incidents that have taken place in others' lives whom he was going to accompany. So, like that time, I trusted my gut or whatever. I don't know, gut or a feeling or something, but it has saved many a times. So maybe because I do meditation in the at night before going off to bed and in the morning, or I
mm.
don't know. But yes, many a times it has turned out to be helpful in not taking any haphazard decisions, rather take it slowly. Thank you.
Right, right. Yes, yes. So, do you think that the outcome of the some situations in your life would be very different if you wouldn't have listened to your gut feeling at that
Yes,
point of time?
yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much. Is anyone else who would like to talk about it? There is no right and wrong. I just want to know your views, your stories. Okay, so I think no one else has anything to add. So, yes, so what we'll talk about today is again, as I said, mind body
Ma'am,
connection. But yes, yes, please.
ma'am, can I say?
Yeah, yeah, of course, sure, sure.
Yeah.
Yes, I was waiting.
So, ma'am,
Yes.
once happened that I used to go for my training in sports, and it
Okay.
happened that once I was feeling not to go and all, but still because it was my practice, I had to go. And My gut feeling or something maybe was telling me not to go, but still I went, and then I met with small accident over there. So I don't know what I should call it or anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you think that your body was telling you that day, that something is about to happen or something like that? Your gut feeling, rather, I would say, was telling you about something and you did not trust that? Do you think that happened?
Ma'am, I don't know about it, but like overall, I was feeling not to go. Like I
Hmm.
was feeling from inside that I should not go today. Maybe I should skip my practice today or something like that.
Okay. Hmm. Right. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Do you think that if you would have listened to it that day, the outcome would be different? Right?
Yeah, maybe because it is an early morning, so I would have kept myself at home only. Then maybe it would have reduced, maybe, or something like that.
Mm, mm. Right. Yes. Thank you, Ruhi, for sharing. Yes, yes, please, Savik.
Okay. So, like as a human being, there is we always have a gut feeling and our practical knowledge. So
Hmm.
many times we think ki gut feeling is there, but no. Like this is a practical thing to do that work, even if our gut feeling is saying not to do, like Ruhi
Yeah,
had mentioned just now, that is
yeah,
our like routine work. Many time when you get up early in the morning and you don't feel like getting up, no, I'm having a heavy body is heavy, or I'm having an headache, I should not get up. But as a regular practice, we get up, and then we like whole day was not good for us because our gut feeling was telling in the morning that you are not well, you should take a rest. So two
yes,
things: gut feeling, you should listen to the gut feeling, but sometimes it happens that our practical knowledge also helps us, that regular
yes,
routine teaches. So lot
yes.
of experiences I had in my life, like there's like any situation we think ye ho gaya hoga, wo ho gaya hoga, but then again we think practically, no, 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 everything is okay, why we are thinking like this? But gut feeling is saying
Mm,
you again and again, like, something is wrong, something is wrong.
mm,
Okay,
mm.
so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
we should listen to our gut feeling. It should be the first preference. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you all of you for sharing. I think there is always that two parts of our mind, which is the reasonable mind, the logical mind, and on the other side there is the emotional mind, and where there is no logic, right? I think if we are on either hemispheres of too much of logic or too much of emotion, I think we can be in trouble. What we do, I think, nowadays, or human beings in general, because we are, quote unquote, intelligent beings, I think we always go towards more logic and intelligence, and you know and then we come to this question, that do you live your life from the neck up, right? So is it that this part, just the part above your neck, is what takes the most of your life every day, or most of the things that you are aware about? Are you aware about the things that are, just below your neck? Do you listen to anything that is just below your neck? So I think that is something, that's the reason I've kept this question, that do you live your life from the neck up? Do you live like that, where there is a lot of preference to our brain and our mind and logic and practical knowledge? I think we Indians perhaps were not like this, but I think across all Western cultures it is a huge prevalence, and I think now we have also become like this in the Indian subcontinent, where there is a lot of preference about what we are thinking logically, what we are doing practically, rather than what your gut feeling is saying, or rather, uh, you know I would say what your body is saying. Now we come to the, some of the pointers here is that the concept of cerebral mystique by Alan Josinoff. So, this term is called cerebral mistake where there is a lot of emphasis on what we are thinking and what our logical mind is saying, and it is always about up here, always about the logic, always about what I am thinking, what I should do, what I should not do, and constantly backing up everything with logic. If you look at, maybe on your daily life, I would, just want you to give it a moment, think about that, how much do we listen to our body, how much do we listen to, what is happening below this neck area. I've also, one thing that I would like to add here is that I've also heard a lot of people saying that, someone has, some sort of disease, and it just happened suddenly. And I refuse to believe that it happened suddenly, because there are always these signs that your body is giving you, or your body is, constantly telling you. But most of the time, we do not listen to those things, because, again, cerebral mistake. We constantly try to do what we should, as in Kanu's ma'am did point out that, it is about routine. Because I have a routine, I would do all of those things, even if one day I don't feel like waking up, my head is heavy, there are certain days, of course, we don't feel like waking up. But if your body is signaling that, there is a headache, or there is some gut issue, or there is something that is happening which you feel is, I mean, all of us might have problems in waking up in the morning. It is not that. It is different from that, when maybe your head is feeling heavy, or your, body is aching. But most of the days we do not listen to those things. We just get up, we just do, also when it comes to food, when it comes to eating, I've seen a lot of people overeat. They eat things which make their body, feel uncomfortable, but nevertheless they still do it. So on a daily basis, if you look at it, I think we are always, it's we do feel that our brain is the center of, everything, that we are doing, and it is the commanding center all the time. Yes, it is the commanding center, yes, but at the same time, it is interconnected very deeply with your body as well. All the neurotransmitters and everything that is, being released and being accepted, it is happening throughout our body. So the brain alone cannot work, it has to work with the body. But most of the time we forget that. We And that forgetting, and having more emphasis on our brain and logic is what, the concept of cerebral mistake is. That, we are always in the process of thinking and reasoning out everything, right? So at this at this point of our, our practice, or our course here, I want to emphasize more, where you can bring your attention inwards. Okay, inwards in the sense in your body. Okay, and take your body as the reference point, take your body as the anchor, right? I'll just read out what I have written here as well. When we focus on the body in our practice, all we have to do is just be with the sensations of the body by itself. So you don't need any external tool. You can just be with the sensations that you are experiencing or you are having right at this point of time, without reference to how your body might function in the external world or in the world of your imagination. So, no imagination, no thinking about what will happen later, what will happen next, or what happened the other day, right? You just focus on what is happening in your body, and you just focus on the sensations of the body. We do our best not to judge the experience or to decide that we like or dislike the various sensations that present themselves to us. Also, again, going back to acceptance and non-judgment, right? There is no judgment in how we are experiencing the whole thing, right? Because sometimes your mind will wander off, and that's very natural. You won't be always able to concentrate here and now and in the body sensations, and it is still okay, it is still fine. So just not judging good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant, nothing like that. Okay. And also we will try to cultivate something which is called bare attention. So cultivating, so what is bare attention essentially? Is the attention is clear and single-minded awareness of what's happening to us and in us, the exact time of its occurrence. Okay, so it becomes a bit like, you know, there is this, you observe the experience and you also participate in the experience. So there are these two parts of you, if I say that there is this one part which is participating in the experience of, maybe you are having a cup of coffee or you're having a cup of tea. So you are participating in the experience, you're having the cup of tea. At the same time, you're observing. So there is this another part of us which is observing that this whole thing is happening. You are aware of the experience that you're having of maybe having the cup of tea, or if you're going for gardening, just going and going for the gardening, you tend to the flowers, you give water, you put some fertilizers or whatever it is, but you are there, you are aware, you are experiencing the whole situation. At the same time, you're observing it as well, right? So that is bare attention. Okay, it's called bare because it asks us to attend to just the bare facts of a perception. Okay, as presented either through the five physical senses, our touch, sight, hearing, smell and taste. So just perceiving, just perception of what things are, attaching no meaning to it, attaching no judgment to it, attaching no, certain judgments or certain labels rather to it at all. Or, bringing back some memory or thinking about the future. No, nothing. You just try to have their attention while you are just looking at bare facts. Okay, what will happen with this bare attention, if you practice it, is that it will give you a lot of objectivity. Okay, it is as simple as, if you suppose your friend is going through a situation, right? It is very easy to solve other people's problems rather than solve your own, because you are always so attached to those thoughts, and there is no objectivity, and that is the reason we find it so difficult when it comes to our case, and it is easy when it is of someone else, right? So that is the thing, it will give you a lot of objectivity to look at the bare facts and not just, what how latched on to we are to the whole situation or experience, right? So, yes, you can do it by, of course, the five physical senses, the touch, sight, smell, taste, okay, or through, how the thoughts arise. The purpose of cultivating bare attention is to assist the mind in ending mental proliferation and fabrication. As I said, that it will stop the constant, uh, you know, the constant struggle or the constant process or the constant flow. Last day I also mentioned about mental proliferation. So, here today I've also mentioned about it and we'll talk more about it today. Mental proliferation is a process where the presence and experience of one's sensation sets off a volley of subsequent processes, which in turn sets off a new set of processes, and on we go. Okay, so it includes labeling. First of all, I think I gave this example last year as well. You're having a cup of tea or you're having some food that someone made for you. You label it as pleasant, unpleasant, good, bad, not so good, not so bad, something like that. Okay. Then comes judgment. If you say it is not so good, then you try to think about why is it not so good. You try to judge, and then also memory comes up. When was the last time this person made a cup of coffee or tea for you, or this food for you, right? You might think about, this, maybe I have asked a certain, maybe your mother, I've asked your mother or someone to do it, right? And they have made such good dishes, but then they don't make so good coffee, right? Intention, right? Maybe intention is then, let's not ask the person to make coffee or tea for me from the next time. So sometimes it's good, right? But is it also taking you away from certain things? Let's say sometimes we are enjoying a meal, we are sitting and we are enjoying a meal, but then, maybe let's say someone is um, shouting, or someone is talking in a bad way somewhere in the restaurant, right? Do we sometimes give a lot of attention to those things which are unpleasant? Okay, or maybe let's say you've gone out with a family, someone said something very bad in the, someone in the some, in some family member, right? And it just takes a toll on you, right? And you constantly think about it, but you forget that you are here in the present moment, and that there is happiness in the present moment as well. Maybe you start thinking about, oh, I shouldn't have come, this person has done this before as well, I just hate it, I want to go, maybe would have chosen a different, a couple of people or different restaurants. So there it goes, it's like a constant process that happens. So that is mental proliferation, and we can stop it, we can ease it if we come back to here and now. We try to forget the judgments. Of course, the thought will arise, but if we don't latch onto it, maybe it will help us to be more aware of the here and now, right? There are a bit, more other things that are there that I would talk about. But till now, I would really like to know you know, how are you feeling about the things that I've discussed? Do you agree with me in terms of cerebral mystique that we mostly live from the neck up, and there is very less attention that we give to our body? I would like to know your thoughts about it. Would anyone like to speak? It's okay if you don't agree as well. That's fine. Because you don't have to raise your hands. You can just speak. Anyone who is up for it. Does it make
It is
sense to you? Yes, yes,
it
please. Yeah.
it does, but it is complex. We hardly put our attention to what's going inside us and how to bring it to the present thing. We are
Mm,
more of working on our external stimulus, what to do next, how am I gonna do next.
right.
Whatever we are related to, our household work or our office work, or if we have family, the family things, friends things, neighborhood. It's just all external stimulus, nothing inside.
Yes, yes, right, right. Yes, I absolutely agree that we are very much, we are concentrating on the external stimulus only, and trying to analyze this. Yes, someone raised a hand. Yes, you may speak.
This is something that I have recently started. I would say it's been just a few months. So earlier, I also used to, think about the consequences a lot, think about the past, think about the future, start associating them together, and then, thinking about all such things. But when I realized that this is something which is not helping me because it's leading to a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, I tried
Yes.
doing this thing that consciously I made an effort to stay in the present, focusing
Mm,
on what I am doing. So at times when I am engaged in some activity, be it writing something, be it cooking, be it doodling, or any other work, there are times
mm,
when these thoughts, there would be certain triggers and these thoughts would just come in. But there I tell myself that no, we need to focus on this work, we need to
yes.
let these thoughts away because thinking about all these things will not help us. So maybe we
Mm,
can think about it later. Let's just focus on the present. The moment I
mm,
say this to myself, my
mm,
brain is able to focus on the present task. And maybe if
right.
that thought or if those thoughts were too important, it might come back again. But if they
Mm,
were not, if they were like, unnecessary thoughts which were bothering me, they would not
Mm.
come back. So this is something that I have just recently started, and it's really working out for me. So I think yes, the body also feels really good after doing that, because that stress is not there. And when the
Right.
stress is not there, I can see the difference in the, I would say, motivation also, I would say, in the energy levels also in the whole day.
Mm,
Yeah.
right. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. Yes, I absolutely agree that, sometimes uh, you don't need to avoid those thoughts, but you need to bring yourself back. You need to see that, yeah, I am having these negative thoughts or distracting thoughts, but I need to come back to here and now. I need to focus myself. Yes. And as she mentioned, that I think it is a habit of ours to think like that. So many of the times those thoughts might come back. It's okay if it does, right? And if it is useful, if it helps you, you can attend to those thoughts as well, but later, right? But if it is unhelpful, then maybe you can again bring yourself back to the present moment and think about what you are doing and concentrate on what you are doing, right? On your body, on your breath, and maybe, of course, a lot of stress, in general, will be eliminated. As I mentioned last day, that one of the side effects of a good side effect, of course, one of the side effects of mindfulness is, being able to be calm, being able to find peace in here and now, because there is peace, there is joy here in this moment. If we don't latch ourselves to the worries of the future and don't worry about what has happened in the past. Thank you for sharing your experience. I know these are complex topics. I do get it, and it will of course take a while, maybe for all of us to really incorporate it, master it, and do it in our lives. But of course, knowing can be the first step to do it. That's the reason I think all of us are here today, to know what it is and what is the concept and what is it all about. Right? Okay. Now we'll talk about one more, you know, aspect, another valuable aspect of directing our attention to the body is that it allows us to cultivate something called interoceptive awareness. so what is what is interoceptive awareness? Okay, interoceptive awareness or interoception is the perception of senses from inside the body and includes the perception of physical sensations related to internal organs such as heartbeat, respiration, satiety, as well as the autonomic nervous system activity related to certain emotions like fear and anxiety. And much of these perceptions remain unconscious. Bringing these sensations into awareness and then observing them helps us to understand a couple of interesting truths. We'll talk about the truths, but maybe let's talk a bit about what is interoceptive awareness. And it is as simple as, if you can concentrate in your body, concentrate on your, how your heartbeat is, how your respiration is, how well you are feeling in terms of, are you thirsty, are you hungry, um, if you have eaten, how full are you feeling? These certain minute things, if you can, just do a check in. People who want to get into this practice, maybe you can start with after you have a meal, maybe just try to analyze or try to just be more aware of how your body is feeling. Sorry, how your body is feeling because of because of just taking a meal, how your stomach is feeling, are you feeling too full, how is your respiration, how is your heartbeat, so things like that. Okay. In terms of autonomic nervous system, if you are having any terms of fear, if you're having any terms of stress, sometimes I think we continue having stress in our body, right? We don't even realize that we are carrying it with us, right? But sometimes just dropping in and trying to understand how your body is feeling can really help you to feel the stress. It might be, for a lot of people, stress is trapped in your shoulders, in your hands, and in different parts. So maybe you will feel the ache or feel the heaviness in your body when you actually look into it for some time. I would just, give you 30 seconds, take your time, just drop in, close your eyes, drop in and just try to feel what is going on in your body, where you're feeling heavy. It's a Sunday morning. How are you feeling today? Your physical sensations. I'll give you 30 seconds. Just do this. Yes, you can come back here and now. I don't know how many of you did it, but I hope that it helped you to feel any heaviness or any tightness or any, if you're feeling light in your body, in your muscles as well. Maybe it gave you some awareness, some knowledge when you noticed. Okay, so we'll talk about these two really interesting truths or maybe benefits you can see as well of being aware of your sensations. The number one is when we pay prolonged attention and bring curiosity to physical sensations, we see how dynamic they are. And when I talk about dynamic, I also would say that how impermanent they are, right? When we do these exercises, it also makes us feel that it is impermanent. What we feel right now is not something that we will feel an hour later. In terms of your physical sensations as well, how you're feeling physically right now, you won't feel it after, 1 hour or 2 hours or in the evening as well, right? So it just teaches us how impermanent things are. So if you're having sadness, if you're having any physical pain or any anxiety or you're worrying about something, you know, I think it's also important to understand that it is not permanent. It will also, it shall pass as well. So it will disappear, rather without any effort. Just give me a moment, I'll just have some water. Yeah, yes, I'm back. So yes, without any of our conscious effort also, these sensations will pass. But what we most often do is that we latch ourselves onto those thoughts. We think that the sadness is permanent, we will not get better, and things like that. And that itself creates the constant state of anxiety or depression or overthinking or stress that exists in our life rather. Okay, the second one is, truth that we notice when we pay attention to sensations of the body is how our interpretation and judgment of them impact our experience. Have you noticed that what happens when you label something as pleasant or unpleasant, or how sensations tend to intensify when you tell yourself you can't stand the way they feel about you or you feel about something? These judgments determine your experience. And when we might not be able to control the presence of certain sensations in the body, certainly we can learn to relate to them differently by bringing more open, spacious awareness to their presence. Sometimes, yes, I do agree, some things are not pleasant, yes. But if we latch ourselves onto that, how unpleasant it is, it will only intensify. It will only, the moment you label it as a something which you don't like, you will also notice how your body is, changing, how your body sensations are changing with that. A good example for this can be when it comes to shock. right? I think if you need to understand how body sensations, is a very good way to be aware of what you are feeling. Trauma can be something. If you can right now think about something in your whole life, it was traumatic for you, and maybe within 30 seconds you will see how your body is feeling different. Some uneasiness you will feel in your gut as well when we talk about or when we think about something which was traumatic for us, which was difficult for us, which was sad, right? So all of these memories and all of these feelings are very much connected to how we feel in our body. And whenever we judge it as something which is bad, we want to push it away rather than process it. Trauma often happens because we don't process the emotions, we don't let ourselves feel, we rather push it away. And when we push it away, it is then that it becomes a trauma. It becomes something that, is trapped in our body for a long, long time. So that is the whole thing that I'm talking about here. Though whatever happened in the past cannot be changed, but can you relate to it differently? And that doesn't mean thinking about it positively, no, just relating to it in a different way, that more acceptance of what happened, more acceptance of yourself as well, how you felt in that experience. If you could not ask for help, maybe accepting those parts of yourself as well, but being more open and giving space to that awareness, that memory or that trauma or whatever that is, but being more open rather than, oh, I don't want to feel sad, so I don't want to think about it. If you're feeling sad about something, maybe maybe your mind and your body is telling you that, it needs your attention. You need to process the information, you need to process how you felt. So it needs your awareness, it needs your attention. So that is, two of the, very curious, very interesting truths, very interesting results of being aware of your body. And now I'll just give you a moment if you have to ask me any questions or if you want to share something. You can let me know, you can tell me, and then we'll practice something which is called a body scan. So since today we are talking about, mind and body, so we'll talk about and we'll do body scan today, where we will scan the whole body and you'll see how it is. Yes, please.
So
Yes,
as you
Abhishek.
mentioned about this thing, that how when we label something as negative or something like that, how our body changes. So with that only, I have one example that when we are around people and the moment we tell ourselves that this is somebody whom we cannot tolerate, or maybe whom there's somebody uh, whom our vibes do not match with, so the moment we tell this to ourselves, it becomes this thing that then the next moment we are not even able to sit there, or maybe whatever he or she is saying, it becomes very difficult to understand their point of view, just because we feel that that person, whatever he or she is saying, is not worth it. And similar things about other also. So like if I have I've labeled something as that I'm fearful of this, so the moment I will see that, response would be there, would be triggered in my body. So yeah, this is one of the examples that I could think of.
Yeah, very true. I think that whenever we label someone as, oh, this person is so uninteresting, or we don't like the person, I think we also lose that capacity to even listen to that person. Maybe that person is saying something good only, maybe something which is helpful, but just because we don't like the person, we can't even listen to what the person is saying, or we can't even see any goodness in that person. So yeah, I think that is a very good example of how, our body, our mind rejects something the moment we label, we put judgments, you know. But at the same time, I think someone did mention that, we sometimes we don't listen to our body and we still stay with the people who makes us uncomfortable. I think that's also an example that I want to, point out here is, yes, I think that is also important. If your body is reacting to someone's presence, or if your mind is reacting to someone's presence, you need to think about it. That why is it reacting the way it is, right? But also keeping that open space, that giving that space, that open space, that of accepting of processing your information, being non-judgmental rather, right? Yes, yes, please tell me.
Yeah. So here what I meant is that, so for example, if I am in a group of people and
Hmm.
I don't know that person, but somebody
Yeah.
tells me this thing that that person is not good, or maybe whatever he or she says doesn't make sense, that
Hmm.
that leads to that formation of perspective that okay, that person would be bad only. Yes, and there
Yes.
are times when our body does tell us that okay, we are not comfortable with that person. It is something
Hmm.
that comes from within. It's not when somebody has told us, or
Yes.
where without any knowledge we are just forming that perception that the xyz person is not good enough.
Yes, yes, absolutely true. I think when you spend some time with someone and then you see, that's a different thing. But when someone is telling you that, or your friend is telling you, oh, I don't like this person, or this person is this, right? I think when it is an information which is coming from someone else, and we label that person, or we judge that person too soon, or we do it, without paying much attention to actually know the person. I think that is often a mistake that we do, and then we shut ourselves off to even listen to what the person is saying. So yes, being more aware would definitely help us, and keeping that open space will definitely help us to see goodness in a lot of people and a lot of things around you, even people and things whom we don't like really. But yeah, maybe we are making judgments, maybe we are constantly labeling other people and ourselves. We're not giving people that opportunity to be, be helpful, or maybe some opinions or some knowledge that they have. Maybe we are not giving that space to listen to that and be receptive to that. Yes, please tell
So for the same thing, I have a very silly example. Like when I was, I think when I was in my teenage years,
me.
at that time,
Mm,
everybody used to love reading Harry Potter books. But
mm,
once, I don't know, some friend of mine or somebody, he or she told me this thing that it's very much hyped up, and there are things which does not happen in real. So that was the
mm.
time, I till that time I hadn't started reading about reading that book. But then
Okay.
the moment that person told me, so for so many years, yeah, for so many months, everybody was telling me it's good, it's good, it's good. That did
Mm,
not make any, I mean, that did not influence me. But the moment this person told me this thing, that no, it's something which is beyond reality and nothing of that happens, that
yeah,
led to formation of this perspective that no, Harry Potter series is not good enough, and it's something which is not real, so why should you read about it? And
yeah.
after certain years I read about it and I really enjoyed reading. So that's how the perceptions also change, and that's how we form things in our mind.
Yeah, yeah, true. I can relate to this when I remember that also in my teenage years, my mom labeled it as something which is not good. It's boring, it's bad, it's something like that. It's I know the same thing. It's very hyped up. It's not that good even, and it's curious. And I think it's also a thing that we often take negative things more importantly, and we take those more seriously than we take good things. So even if people were talking of good things about the Harry Potter movies or the books, I think what my mom said that it was not good, it stayed with me for years. And it was not until long ago that I started watching the movies and all. But it was great actually. I really enjoyed it. But then yeah, I can also relate to it that yeah, negative things. I think when negative, people tell you negative things, it just latches onto you more. It is just more sticky, rather than the good things people say. So not until my partner showed me the movies, I didn't know how good it was. So yeah, I think rightly pointed out. Yes. Thank you for sharing the examples from your life. Thank you so much. Right. So we'll come to the body scan now. Okay, I'll give all of you 1 minute to just sit down, relax. If you want to sit in any room or any posture, or if you want to, you know, sit in a chair or a bed, whichever makes you feel comfortable, just settle in. I'll give you 1 minute for that, and then we'll start. So I guess every one of you are ready. Just give me a thumbs up if you are. We'll start. Okay. Okay. Yes. So I can see everyone is ready. So let's start. It's time to relax and take care of yourself. We're going to do a quick body scan. Don't be fooled by the simplicity of this process. The more you do it, the more intuitive you become, the more relaxing it becomes. We're simply going to move through the muscles of your body, and as you focus on them, you can allow them to relax just a little. So let's take a little bit of time now to make sure you're sitting comfortably. Keep your hands on your lap. Take a gentle, deep breath in and out, in and out, and allow your eyes to close. And allow your eyes to gently close. Now try to become aware of your left foot, the toes, the feet, the ankle, the left calf, the left knee, the left thigh. Move up the left hand side of your torso and to the left shoulder. Relax that shoulder and move down through the left arm, through the elbow, through the wrist, down into the hand, the fingers, and the thumb, and the left side of your face now, the left cheek, the left eye, the left hand side, of your scalp. Now move over to the right hand side of your scalp and follow my words with your awareness. The right eye, the right cheek, the right shoulder, and down through the right arm, the elbow, the wrist, the hand, the fingers, the thumb, and down the hand side of your torso. Bring your awareness to the right thigh, the right knee, the right calf, the right ankle, the right heel, the foot, the toes, and then bring your awareness up the center of your body. Relax your stomach, relax your stomach muscles. Bring your awareness to the chest, how you're breathing, then to your nose, right across the top of your head, and down the spine. Relax the back muscles. See how you're feeling. Notice how simple that procedure has been. Notice how easy that the procedure has been. Become aware of the weight of your feet, the weight of your hands, and enjoy the heaviness. You can help it along. Increase the awareness of the weight. Expand the awareness. It simply means the muscles are switching off. In this heaviness comes energy, the flowing of energy. So, curiously, even after a short relaxation like this, you will feel more grounded, more centered, more balanced, more relaxed, more focused. And with that thought in mind, give your toes a little wiggle, give your legs a little movement, give your fingers and hands and thumbs a little squeeze and let go. Raise your shoulders and and drop them. Give your jaw a little wiggle. Take a nice, gentle, deep breath. And when you are ready, open your eyes fully back in the present moment, rested and refreshed. Be gentle with yourself. And whenever you are ready, let's talk a bit about how is the experience. How difficult was it? How easy was it? Any of you can speak about it. You can also type it up in the chat box. How was it? How was it for everyone?
Uh, it was mind went on wandering stage, then bringing back to present, and then getting a little disconnected with what you were saying, and then again connected. It is tough. It is tough
Of
for me.
course, of course it is. It is. I think it is tough for a lot of people, and that's okay. But I think that's the reason you're here as well to start with it. So maybe with practice, it comes with practice. It's a very simple thing, but don't be fooled by the simplicity. Of course, it seems like a simple thing, but it's not. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, yeah. Right. Anyone else who would like to talk?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Hello. Yes, continue.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my views. At first, it was difficult to concentrate, and
Mm,
I was feeling the heaviness of some of the body parts. And
mm,
as we go, I was able now to feel relaxed and be able
mm,
to not to wander away, but sometimes concentrate on what you were saying, concentrate on the sensation and the motion of my body. And I was able
yeah.
to, yeah, definitely, I was able to feel the sensation on my body and feel relaxed at the end of the process.
Mm, mm. Right. Did it get better, towards the end of the process, compared to how it was when we started off? Did it get better
Yes,
in the end?
yes, it was really better because at first I was feeling heavy on some of the body parts, but at the end of the session, I was feeling much better.
Right, right. It is. I think it is also something that maybe in those parts of your body, maybe you are also carrying a lot of stress, right? So maybe take care of those parts. See if you can de-stress yourself if you're feeling really heavy during this exercise. Okay, so that's there. Would anyone else like to share? Sagarika ma'am, would you like to share? And Upkrita, would you like to share anything that you felt? Anyone else who would like to say?
So I would
Yes,
like
please.
to share. So
Mm,
body scan is something that I have been doing it for myself, and one difference that I feel is like as it's a thing which needs a lot of practice, and with time only things get better. So earlier when I had started it, it was little difficult to focus on every body part, because the moment you have to change the focus to some other body part, you have to shift the focus. At that point of time your mind would wander here and there, and bringing it back to focusing on the body part was difficult. But now, as and when I have been doing it, I feel that when I'm able to focus, the body feels lighter, the body feels really calm, and at that point of time there are no thoughts in my mind which I am aware of. So I can focus on how, so if there is so if we are sitting for a longer time and if there is tingling feeling, I can focus on that, that okay, at this particular point that feeling is there, how is it making me feel. So that is something that I got really, I mean, with practice now I am aware of things, and the feeling of that lightness, the at that point of time when you are extremely calm and peaceful. So that is my experience.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing. As you said that in the beginning it can be difficult. I think mindfulness in general can be difficult when you are starting off with it. So yeah. Anyone else who would like to speak how difficult it was or anything like that? Anyone? It's okay even if it is negative, that you didn't feel good or you feel more restless or anything like that. It's fine. You can share your experience. Okay, so I see maybe no one is interested too, right? So I think we'll end the class here. But a few things to mention is that from the next week, someone else would be taking the class, okay? Two classes. O3 would be taking the two classes, okay? And he will give you separate assignments altogether, right? And the assignment for this class is I will send something to read about this mind and body connection. So, give it a read, and I will then and there in the text I will mention that what are the questions I have or what are the things you can work on in terms of after reading the article. Okay. At the same time, I would really encourage if you can practice this body scan more often, right? Maybe two or twice or thrice a week and see how it feels if it changes for you, right? So giving some time also, right? And writing a reflection about it, after 2 weeks. Okay, I'll write down all of the assignments in details in the WhatsApp group itself, and it will also be sent in the email. Where there will be all the recordings. Assignments will also be sent. Okay, so yeah, thank you today for all of you to come and join and participate. Thank you so much. Yes, yes, please, Ashwin.
Ma'am, like you gave the task that we have to focus on doing the basic things of life, and then we have to recognize what are we doing, what are we thinking. So it is should be like day one, day two, details are compiled summary type.
No, no, I said both, right? If you can talk about, day one, day two, or day three, right? If you're doing it three
Okay.
days, you can write reflection for the 3 days and then do a compiled thing as well, right? I mean, a
Okay.
compiled thing would include how do you see yourself, how much growth do you see yourself in the last, 3 days or 4 days that you have done it. Do you see that, things are getting easier for you, or do you notice any difference or something like that?
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
all. Okay, right?
Thank you.
Okay, if you have any questions, you can definitely text me in the WhatsApp as well.
Okay.
Okay, no
Okay,
problem
ma'am.
about it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, so bye to everyone for today. Take care. Bye. Bye.